Canada once promised the skies would thunder with 88 brand new F-35 stealth fighters, a fleet meant to redefine its air power. But now that promise is crumbling. Only 16 jets are confirmed, 14 more are planned, and the rest remain a fading dream. What happened? Enter Saab's Gripen, the Swedish fighter that dared to challenge America's most expensive warplane. With lower costs, faster delivery, and a reputation for adaptability, Gripen has forced Canada to rethink its billion-dollar gamble. This is not just about numbers. It's about pride, politics, and the future of air combat. And tonight, we reveal how a Scandinavian jet shook the foundations of Canada's F-35 deal, leaving the world to wonder, has the era of the stealth monopoly finally been broken? In 2023, Canada made a bold commitment: 88 Lockheed Martin F-35A stealth fighters to replace its aging CF-18 fleet. It was supposed to be a leap into the future of air combat, aligning with NATO and securing a place in America's trillion-dollar stealth program. But that promise is already unraveling. Today, only 16 jets are firmly on order, with long-term payments covering components for 14 more. Prime Minister Mark Carney refuses to set a deadline for reviewing the program, as costs spiral out of control and relations with Washington grow colder. Into this uncertainty steps Sweden's Saab, offering the Gripen E, a fighter built around secure data centers in Montreal, promising 12,000 Canadian jobs and delivery within 5 years. Ottawa is now considering and observing a sixth-generation fighter jet program led by several nations, a clear signal that Canada is rethinking its reliance on U.S. military infrastructure. For now, Canada continues to pay for F-35 parts to keep its slot in Lockheed Martin's production line, knowing delays could mean losing its place to other buyers. But the bigger story is clear. Canada's fighter jet future is no longer locked to the F-35 alone, and Gripen has forced the debate into the open. Gripen is not a stealth giant like the F-35, but a lightweight, single-engine supersonic fighter designed for versatility. Since its first flight in the 1990s, Gripen has evolved into a true multi-role aircraft, capable of air-to-air combat, precision bombing, and reconnaissance. The latest version, Gripen E, delivered to the Swedish Air Force in October 2025, represents a new chapter: modern avionics, upgraded weapons, and a proven track record with over 280 units produced worldwide. For Canada, it is presented as a solid, low-cost alternative to the fifth-generation F-35, a jet that promises capability without the trillion-dollar price tag. Unlike the F-35, which depends on secure bases or aircraft carriers, Gripen can take off and land on ordinary highways, dispersing its positions and making it harder to target on the ground. Its flexibility extends to weapons. Gripen can integrate munitions from across NATO suppliers: American JDAM and AIM-120 AMRAAMs, Britain's Storm Shadow, and France's Scalp. This independence from a single supplier is more than a technical advantage, it is a political statement. Comparing Gripen and the F-35 is never simple. One is labeled Generation 4.5, the other Generation 5, but those labels hide more than they reveal. The F-35's defining feature is stealth, the ability to slip past radar undetected. Gripen lacks that built-in stealth, yet it compensates with agility, modular upgrades, and advanced decision support software that in some tests boosted combat effectiveness by hundreds of %. In fact, Gripen's artificial intelligence-driven systems hint at sixth-generation concepts, proving that a jet without stealth can still rival or even surpass expectations in certain missions. The truth is, no single metric, stealth, radar range, or thrust, can define which fighter is better. Each excels in different arenas, and the battlefield decides the winner. Where the comparison becomes undeniable is cost. The F-35 may promise cutting-edge technology, but it comes at a staggering price, around $40,000 per flight hour, compared to roughly $10,000 for Gripen E. Over a lifetime of 8,000 hours, that means more than $400 million for each F-35, versus about $180 million for Gripen, more than double the expense. For nations with limited defense budgets, that difference is not just numbers, it's strategy. Every dollar spent on an F-35 is a dollar not spent on other systems, deterrence, or diplomacy. Gripen's affordability forces a hard question. Is stealth worth the cost, or does flexibility and independence matter more in the long run? Canada's fighter jet dilemma has become a political storm. In 2023, Ottawa promised 88 F-35 stealth fighters to replace its aging CF-18 fleet. But today, only 16 are confirmed, with payments for 14 more keeping its slot in Lockheed Martin's production line. Into this uncertainty, Saab has stepped forward with Gripen E, marketed not just as a jet, but as a promise of sovereignty. The offer includes secure data centers in Montreal, 12,000 Canadian jobs, and delivery within 5 years. More importantly, Gripen's independence from U.S. systems appeals to Canadian leaders wary of over-reliance on their southern neighbor. The debate is no longer about which jet is better on paper. F-35 scored higher in stealth, sensors, and NATO interoperability, but Saab's Gripen challenges Canada to weigh cost, sovereignty, and industrial benefit against raw capability. Lockheed Martin insists Canada will retain full control, yet political concerns are growing as tensions with Washington mount. For Ottawa, the choice is strategic: remain locked into America's trillion-dollar program, or carve out a more independent future with Gripen and multinational partnerships. This is not just procurement, it is a test of Canada's identity in global defense. In the end, the debate between Gripen and the F-35 is not just about technology, stealth, or raw capability. It is about choices that define nations. Whether to invest in sovereignty, affordability, and industrial benefit, or to pursue cutting-edge systems at staggering costs. Gripen E, with its proven record, flexible armament, and promise of independence, stands as a reminder that air power is more than numbers. The F-35, with unmatched stealth and alliance integration, represents the pinnacle of modern warfare, but at a price that only a few can bear. For Canada, and for every nation weighing these jets, the decision is not simply which fighter is better. It is which future they choose to build. And that choice, more than any aircraft, will shape the skies of tomorrow.